But this is not the case, as instead, we come tonight to bring you the sonic recreation of the end of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare to hold your
chocolate milk as I start my endeavor with the IS-7 across big fat rivers, small railroads, and a ton of artillery to try and get that second star on the barrel. I've tried this before with the IS-7. I've tried it before to get the second mark. I failed miserably. I got put on Ensk. I don't know if I ever showed it. Can't remember it, if I'm really honest. But I got put on Ensk. I did about 1,000 damage and I just got owned. There's nothing to it. I just got owned. It's not really worthy of like putting it on YouTube, and I think I deleted it eons ago. But I'm back here on Live Oaks trying to not shit my pants or suck out, because that would make me a very sad clog. Now the IS-7 of course is probably one of the most popular tier 10 heavy tanks on the Russian server because it is the IS-7. What tank is more Soviet than the IS-7? The Russians love it. The IS-7 is also one of the oldest tier 10 heavy tanks with the E100, I do believe. We're talking about World of Tanks, not like tanks in general, because then we'll be talking about the Mark I. And that's not really Soviet or a heavy tank. I think people are kind of like thinking like, shouldn't the IS-7 have an autoloader, because in real life it had an autoloading system, and Wargaming, wanting to be historically accurate as much as possible, told them that they won't change it because the player base will probably change in Russia if they touch their beloved IS-7. So much for historical accuracy. I think I almost choked on my tongue there. Historical accuracy. There we go. It's about as accurate in history as the Type 4 and the Type 5 and the OHO and the ONI. You know, those tanks that really existed, and the Japanese had them everywhere posted in Japan waiting for the American invasion, except for that never happened. The OI, which is a tier 6 in the Tank of Worlds, was nothing more than a prototype. So I don't know where World of Tanks pulled out these tanks out of their assholes, but I cannot wait for them to be never nerfed.
Things would be going great for you if it weren't for that Pennywise grabbing you by the neck.
As is traditional on this YouTube channel, we dropped. Of course we dropped. Have you ever seen a video where I rose after the first game? And don't go telling me like, oh, that one video you did. No, that was a lie. I edited the footage so it looked like I went up in the mark, but in reality, I probably dipped pretty damn hard. I don't know what it is. I think every time I start these recordings, I literally just start playing that tank straight away. Didn't get a feel for the tank that day. I didn't get a feel for the matchmaking. I didn't get a feel for the RNG. I just turned up my music to about 500% volume. I pressed battle. I started the recording. And then I have instant regret up until the point where I either give up or get the mark. That's how I go through life. Pretty much as I wake up nowadays anyway. I instant regret falling out of bed. And here on Redshire we have found ourselves in the good old-fashioned, boring, side-scraping, corner fighting. And you probably have noticed that I am firing nothing but premium. The thing is, Wargaming allows me to, and I, maybe not during this video, had billions of credits, but I still had about 15 million credits. That is currently 54 million because of Frontline. Phil, are you gonna try and get the tier 9 tank in Frontline? Yes. And also probably the Emil 1951 because I can. Phil, what are you doing in the EBR mission grind? Well, seeing as today is either Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, I am at stage 6. I've got 20 out of 35 wins, and to be honest, that was really the mission where I kind of gave up on trying. Because the day where I needed to get 25 wins, I had a 45% win rate over 60 games. And I didn't want to go through that again. So I've pretty much given up on trying the EBR, of getting the EBR. That's fine though, I've played it already for a week in randoms. And it was fun, but I didn't really enjoy it that much. Maybe I'll buy it for Frontline, who knows. Anyway, this is the part where, as you saw, RNG kind of just quit out on me, and I get killed by probably the best convoy player in the entirety of the world, because he killed me.
If you're homeless, just buy a house.
Ho ho ho, Westfield. And in Westfield, I want a tank that has gun depression. But even a tank like the Chieftain, yes, I have the Chieftain, obviously, I told you that in the last video. The gun depression still might not be enough with the 10 degrees to play this small hill to my right. And that's only slightly annoying, because you're pretty much out in the open for artillery over here, and that's why I don't really want to poke anymore, because if I get spotted, Artie shits on me for days. It's also a batch at Artie, so he will be more annoying for about 20 seconds. 3 times in 20 seconds. I don't even know what the reload is afterward. Isn't it like 50 seconds or so? I think it is. One tanks.gg later. That's the beauty of editing. I can do things in between without you guys even noticing it. It turns out that the batch actually does have a 45-second reload with the rammer, that is. If you don't have a rammer on your auto-loading batch chat RT, what are you doing? Oh, that's right, shitting on people, that's right. And when you notice that the batch at RT has stopped shitting on people, that's the time where you can poke and actually play the game for 45 seconds before all the fun gets sucked out of your face. Again. And you may or may not have noticed that I haven't actually been editing this part of the game, because it's been just a struggle to find a position where I can shoot people, not sit there for too long so people can just work around me. You gotta be annoying for the enemy team, just pop up on small different locations, because if you pop up on the same location they can figure out what they can do if they're smart enough, and we all know that about 77% of the world tanks population probably eats dirt for dinner. But it's that 23% that you want to confuse. That includes artillery, because if you sit in the same spot, their reticle won't grow bigger when they move, which means that they can just shit on you as you sit there and thinking, why is it raining fire from the sky? You're part of the 77% at that point. Ah, here we have a prime example in his Type 5 Heavy thinking that he can rush a 277. Maybe he got annoyed at this game? Maybe because he was full on tunnel vision, and we're going to punish him by killing him now. Someone? No? Cool, I rolled low so I didn't kill him. It's fine. He'll live on to be really annoying in the future. That's not even a spoiler, it's a Type 5 Heavy. He doesn't even have to hit you to do damage. That was a stupid poke though. My bad. We're losing this game, and if not this game, we're losing this flank. We've lost this flank pretty much. It's not going to take long before I am most likely going to die. The Super Conk is most likely going to die. That STRV is dead, so that's never a good sign. But I have to be quick here. I have to kill this IS-7 or get him killed as fast as possible so I can run from the enemy IS-7 and 277 coming up behind me, ready to just eat my ass with knife and fork. Shoot this IS-7 and pull back behind the building. He's still reloading for at least 2 more seconds. Artie reminds me that he is still there and is reloaded by now, which always makes me cry really loud, up until the point where my parents are wondering what I am doing with my life and if I could be quieter. Did I mention a Type 5 Heavy? I did, didn't I? And from this point forward, something special is going to happen. This game looked like a loss, because when I die, I usually think the game is lost, because in my opinion, the world revolves around me, and that is backed by my mother telling me that I am a very special boy. But it turns out that, for some reason, after they killed the Type 5 Heavy, that we are now winning this game. Sometimes the stars align, and I don't have diarrhea. They find the AMX-13 90 in a bit of a predicament. RT kills RT, RT and RT violence. It's lovely if you're not the RT receiving it deep from behind. The Grill 15 wants to kill the AMX 13 105 on the enemy team. Was there 105? It was a 105. Never mind. I thought it was a 90. It wasn't. Now you can see the mood I'm in. I don't really want to re-record as the Grill kills himself. But it's fine because the 105 on our team puts in one more shell into the RT and the game ends with more RT on RT violence. So that's how I carried that last game to victory, because if I didn't do 4.4k damage, then that 13105 couldn't have done it all in the end to win it for our team. And I'm sticking to that.
A big spoon, pooper scooper. Big snake, big poop.